In this worksheet, we're going to go over magic squares. Question 1. This array of numbers is a 3 by 3 magic square. Show that the sum of each column and each row and each diagonal is the same. It is the property that makes it magic. If you look at each of the rows, each of the rows adds up to 24. Each of the columns adds up to 24. So what is the sum? Well, the sum is 24. Even the diagonals add up to 24. Part B. List the 9 numbers that were used in this array in order from smallest to biggest and circle the middle number. Is this the number in the middle? Let's check that out. Let's look at the numbers, and I want you to list them from smallest to biggest. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yes! The middle number is in fact in the middle between our numbers. Alright, let's look at part C. Add up all the 9 numbers, then divide by 3. What do you get? So we're just going to use our calculator and add 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12. And we'll divide that by 3. And this gives me 72 for the top and 3 on the bottom. Check to make sure you get the same numbers. And this is equal to 24. This number is 24, and that's magic. 24 is our magic number because we said the sum of each of the rows, columns, and diagonals was 24, and this number is 24. So now we know a little bit about magic squares. We can use this to fill other magic squares. So I want you to pause the video and give this a try. Let's find the numbers that will make these squares magic. Okay, so let's try this question out. Hopefully you've done it on your own and had some strategies on figuring out the magic squares. Remember, for magic squares, all of the rows, all of the columns, the diagonals have to add up to the same number. If you add 18, 10, and 2, you get 30. So I know the rows and columns and diagonals have to add up to 30. That allows me to figure out this diagonal here. 10 plus 4 plus what gives you 30? I can figure out this to be 16. So now this diagonal adds up to 30. And then I can figure out this row, 16 plus 2 plus what gives us 30? I know this is 12. And then I can figure out this column has to add up to 30. So the missing number must be 14. This row has to add up to 30. So this is 6. And this row and column both have to add up to 30. So this number must be 8. In this column, I know the sum is 27, so I can use that to figure out what this number is. 15 plus 5 plus a blank has to be 27, so this number has to be 7. I can figure out this number. 7 plus 3 is 10. In order to add up to 27, I need this number to be 17. And you can similarly use the same method here. You could use the same method, and we will get that this is supposed to be 9 and 13. Alright, and if you guess the numbers for this one, you should also get 5, 11, 7, and 9. So it's not too bad to create your own magic squares if you have a couple numbers already in place. Now I want you to notice something about the number in the middle. This is a 10, And remember, the total of the row, column, and diagonal was 30. 30 divided by 3 gives us 10, and that's the number in the middle. Here, our magic number was 27. If I divide 27 by 3, I get this is equal to 9, and that's the number in the middle. If I take our magic number, which is 21 in this case, divided by 3, I get 7, and that's again the middle number. So if I take the magic number and divide it by 3, I will get the middle number. And that works for the previous question as well. I take our magic number, 24, divided by 3, I get 8, the middle number. So this technique is going to help us complete our magic squares. Alright, so let's summarize what we know about magic squares. The middle number is our magic number divided by 3. I also want you to note that if you look very carefully, there's a symmetry with the middle number. The middle number has symmetry. What I mean by that is, if you look at the first example, 8 is in the middle, 7 is a distance of 1 away from that, and 9 is 1 more than 8. 6 is 2 away from 8, and 10 is 2 away from 8. 5 is 3 away from 8, and 11 is 3 away from 8, and 4 is 4 away from 8, and 12 is 4 from 8. So they're equal distant from the middle number. If you look at this example here, we have 10, which has 2 below it is 8, 2 above it is 12. And if you look at 4 and 16, they're 6 away from it. 10 is 6 away from 4, and 10 is 6 away from 16. If you look, 10 is 4 away from 6, and 10 is 4 away from 14. So we can use that to help us fill our magic squares. So let's try number 3 out. Now that you have several magic squares to look at, can you make one from scratch? Use the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Each number should only be used once. Now let's figure out what the middle number should be. I'm going to take all of them and add. And then we're going to divide by 3. This gives me 36 divided by 3, which is 12. And remember, this 12 right here is our magic number. This means the diagonals, the rows, and columns all better add up to 12. Okay? 12 divided by 3 is going to give me the middle number. And the middle number is 4. So I have a start here. The middle number has to be 4. Now the diagonals have to add up to 12. So I'm going to pick my numbers, making sure they add up to 12. So let's try this here. I'm going to pick 2 and 6. 2 plus 4 plus 6 does add up to 12. And then I can make up some more numbers. Let's put 5 and 1 here. That does add up to 12. So now I need to make sure this diagonal adds up to 12. So this has to be a 7. And this has to add up to 12. So this must be a 3. This has to add up to 12. 3 plus 8 plus 1 gives us 12. And our final number has to be 0. There is our magic square. Now remember, you could have a different magic square with the same numbers and it would still work. So don't think this is the only magic square that works with these numbers. question number 4, we want to make a magic square that has the number 39 as our magic number. So I want to make sure the sum of each row, column, and diagonal is 39. Well, I'm going to start by looking for that middle number. Remember, we're going to take the magic number, which is 39, divided by 3, and I get myself 13. This is equal to our middle number. Okay, the number in the middle has to be 13. So I know the number in the middle is 13. I'm going to try to figure out numbers on the left and right side of it. And I know it's some symmetry with this. So let's pick 12 and 14. I'm going to put 15, 16, 17, 11, 10, and 9. Remember, there has to be a symmetry with the middle number, so I just chose 1 away. We have 13 in the middle, 12 is 1 below it, and 14 is 1 above it. 13 in the middle, we have 11 is 2 below it, and 15 is 2 above it. So let's just fill in the numbers. We're going to put 11, 15 here, and that does add up to 39, so we're doing okay. And let's put 9 here. Well, I know the opposite of 9 here is 17 because of that symmetry. So this has to be 17. Let's put 12 here, and this has to be 14. So that works. And now we have, this must be 16 to add up to 39 for the row and column. And the last one has to be 10. And that's our magic square. But remember, you can have different numbers that also add up to 39, so there's more than one magic square that works.